Change to live chat. Morning, Susie. Welcome. How are you doing today? Put that there so I can see what's happening there. And right, so I need to bring the button that way, and we need to zoom in a bit. There we go. I'll zoom in a bit more if I need to in a bit. You're good, that's good. Just wait for a few more to come in, Susie, and then we can start. So what you got planned for today? I ain't got anything planned apart from buying cat food later. Right. Don't think there's anybody else coming in yet. They must be still asleep. Oh, yeah, ours is laundry day today. I've set washer going. I've still got kitchen to clean. I'm sure we get people in at night when we're asleep and they come and make a mess in the kitchen. Because I'm sure we don't make that much mess. You're only just awake, are you, Susie? I've been up since 6 o'clock this morning, so to me it's dinner time. Is the sound okay? You blame the dog for waking you up, or you blame the dog for laying you sleeping? Sounds good. That's good. I was watching the video back from the last shark one, and for some reason, every now and again, the sound cuts out. Like a microphone switches on and off, so half the words is not there. So I don't know what issue with that were. Well, I may as well tell you what I'm doing then, Susie, and repeat when we get any more in. May wanted to know about embossing in books. So May, if you're watching this back later, I've made a start to show you what it looks like. I'll zoom in a bit more. I'm technically challenged as well, Susie. That's what makes things worse. Having to guess on the fly, and that's not zooming in anymore. Is that zoomed in enough for you, Susie? For some reason, when I use Hangouts, it only lets me zoom in 2 clicks, but when I use other programs, I can zoom in 6 clicks. Morning, Michelle. How are you? Hope you're having a good morning. Right, as I was saying, I've embossed a little bit. I don't know if the shine's going to show up on camera or not. Can't get my light to bounce off it. But anyway, I've done that so far. And what I was saying to May is, you can either use a VersaFine pen or you can use a 2-way glue roller. I'm good, thank you, Michelle. I wish the damp had clear up though. It does make an havoc. And it works very good with a glue pen if you haven't got a Versamark pen. Now mine's dried out, so I have to use a pad and keep dabbing it on there. Why buy another pen when you've got a pad? So I'll show you how it works with the glue. And it's just a case of using it like a pen and colouring your picture in. You pick an area and you cover it with the glue. Now it will not show up on screen, but it is actually showing up wet for me, so I know when I've covered an area. And then little gold this time. These are small wow powders. They're quite cheap, and it's extremely fine, so you don't get large blotches. And I just tap it out where I want it, and then lift the book slightly and just tap off the excess. And if some don't come off, just use a brush, brush it off where you don't want it. Put that back in there, that back under there. And then this is the Eat It craft tool that I use. I'm not on camera. That doesn't help, does it? Yeah, so I use this one. It's quiet. It takes a little bit longer for it to melt, but it also doesn't scorch pages. Where some of the bigger ones, the cylinder type, they do get a lot hotter and they can scorch a page if you leave it on too long. So I set it like that so you can see it changing. And you'll know when it's changing because the black lines will suddenly appear again. There we go. That's that. And try not to touch it with your fingers for a few seconds. Let it cool down, because I make every now and again I make the mistake and touch it, and it lifts up on your finger like glue. There's a bit up that end that's not melted. There we go. And that's with the glue pen. And now I'll show you what it looks like with the VersaFine pen. This comes with a large nib for larger areas and a small nib that's ideal for these tighter areas. Just pick some ink up. I'll come up this line this time. And again, it will not show up on screen, but I can see where it's wet. And if you just do a section at a time, then you don't forget where you've been and where you haven't been. So just do to there. Cover that. And then you don't need to eat it up straight away if you're using the same colour. You can carry on adding your Versamark and your powder. Just be careful not to rub off what you've already put down if you're working up against it. Won't you know it? Somebody at the door, just a second, guys. Right, I'm back. Ian's managed to get the door. Sorry, I've just knocked the camera again.
Right. All right, thank you. Cheers.
Right, and then we knock it off again. Morning, Charlotte. How are you? Hope you're having a wonderful morning. Gone over at line there. Do a smaller brush, but I'll be careful. It does tend to cling to the brush, so it's quite easy to lift up again. Another bit up there, look. Try and do this so you can see it. I usually go front top. It's a quick go of it. Make sure I've got it all. There we go. And as you can see, it's smoother with the Versamark than where it is with the glue, but it does work with the glue. I'll change to another powder now to show you what different effects you can get. This is the one that I said puffs up. It's ultra high embossing powder. So I'll show you what this one does. Show you on this bit. Now I might lose some of the lines here. but you get the idea. I think I started on that one, but I'll put it on again. It is fun. You can get lots of different effects depending on what sort of powder you use. Now, as you can see, this is bigger grains. It's not the ultra fine like the other one. Am I still on camera? Because for some reason the camera's gone to the right of my table and it's usually in the middle. But Cats has been up here again. There we go. There we go. And that's what that one looks like. It is raised a millimetre off of the paper because of it being the larger particles. So that's that one. And then you get some that's got glitters in, like this one. So I'll show you what that one looks like. Get that off, I don't want that mixing in it. Do the same again, colour this one in. Obviously you'll take your time covering where you want the ink. I'm just rushing it so you get a better idea of what's happening. It doesn't matter how long you take to put the ink on, it stays wet. As long as you don't go over 20 minutes, I suppose, but you're not going to take that long to put ink on. Brush it off where I don't want it. This one's good for using on Christmas pictures. They do different colours. I've run out of my green. I used to buy the red and green. Christmas cards, not birthday cards. The Christmas cards. I've run out of the green, so I can't show you that one. And some powders have more static in than others, so you just have to be careful where it sticks to your paper, because as heat gets to it, even though there's no glue there, it will still melt into your paper. Are we on? Yes. It does take a little bit longer to melt this one, with it being the glitter type. And if you get a cylinder type hot gun, then it will melt quicker. It's just that I've only got the heat it tool for drying pages out. To get that where I didn't want it. And that's the glitter one. Can you see the shine? If I bring it up. Don't know if you can see it or not. And I'm only working on a little screen as well, so I can't see what you can see. That's the glitter one. And then you get ones that's fine detail. These usually are used for stamping sentiments because of how super fine they are, but it works ideal on small detail on your pages as well. Onto another bit of paper. I'll go back to the glue pen this time so you can see what that's like, and I've just changed ends there for no reason. Come across this way this time. Good cat that's trying her hardest to take room door off because I've shut it. If I leave that door open, you don't see her for most of the day. It's as though she's psychic and she can tell when you've shut door. She'll come running from anywhere and start scratching the door. Just go as far as there. You can see with the glue pen I've missed some areas because it's not as easy to see the glue as what it is the VersaFine. But once it's melted, you can go back in and put more glue in. Cover it again. You see that one changing? That gives a metal effect. That's awesome. I love watching it change. Look, I forgot to get that off, look, and I've marked the paper. That's basically all it is for embossing. There's Enchanted Gold. This one's got a glitter in as well. So I'll show you this one. It's sparkly, look. I love the sparkle on these. Right. Do it up this one. Took it to there. Whoops. That come out a bit heavy-handed, didn't it? Try not to leave any extra on page this time. It's a good job it's only a test page. And again, because it's got glitter in, it will take a bit longer to melt. And that's that one. It's got like a creamy texture to that one. Not as gold as what this one is. And this one is a black. So if you're doing a black and white picture, this is ideal. Try not to dip it in embossing powder, missus, or else you get a right mess. Oh, chucked my brush over the side of the room. I've had a problem with my hands today. They're flicking and dropping things all over the place. Where's that gone? Oh, come here. That makes a black gloss. Is that showing up okay? Hello, have you all gone and left me? What's that one? Now this one is a clear holographic, so this works well spraying it over top of one that you've already coloured. I'm glad you're still here, Michelle. So pretend I've already coloured a bit, and I'll show you what that one looks like. It should still show up glittery, but like I say, if you'd coloured it and then put the holographic over it, it is a cool effect. Now I've only done it over markers, I've not done it over pencil, so you'd have to test that on an old colouring book before you go and do it in your more expensive books. I don't know if that shows up. You can see the speckles of the holographic powder, and that's melted into the clear. But like I say, if you've got colour under it, it doesn't half bring the glitter up over the top of the colouring. But like I say, I've only ever tried it with marker, I've not tried it with pencil. We'll grab a pencil, we'll give it a try, shall we? Bear with me a second while I just get some pencils. No, I've not been watching tennis this year because we cancelled Sky and all telly last year because we weren't watching it. So we're down to just computers. And you can't get tennis on computer as far as I know. Morning, Caroline. How are you, sweetie? Right, so if we test this then, and we'll colour a bit. Which shall I colour? I'll colour this way. And then I'll put the holographic on again and we'll see where it comes out like. I'm not being precise with colouring either, so because I want to hurry up and get back to powder. Because after all, that is what you've come for. Not to see me colour. Just try and get rid of a bit of this white speckled, or else it will look like the powder's not covered it properly. Right. Back with VersaFine. Now it might pick a bit of colour up, yeah, it's picking a bit of colour up, but that don't matter. I've got, chuck that on again. Right. And that's what it looks like over the top of pencil. And you see the sparkle. It's like adding glitter without adding glitter, if you know what I mean. And it also seals your picture. The only thing it won't work over is chalk, so don't use chalk pencils and then try and seal it with embossing powder, because it will not work. For some reason it reacts with the chalk. So that's the holographic one. And this is the gold detail that's similar to the silver detail that I've shown you. And this one, super fine. It's a similar one to that. Right. I'll go up here with this one. Like I say, you can see the red on the tip now from the pencil, but you'll not see it through the coloured embossing powder. And it also makes it a bit easier to see where you've gone. And it will thin out and take the colour back off the tip. No, I think it's going now, look. It's getting lighter. And it doesn't matter how much you chuck down, that's not wasting it, because it can only take what it needs to cover the glue. And get some holographic in with my gold. Never mind. Not that one. Try not to move your gun about like this, because all you're doing is you're taking the heat away from where it needs it. So try not to do that. Just sit with your gun on until it starts melting and then move it slowly across. And that's the gold one. Oh, make me a cuppa and all, Susie. I'm parched this morning. I've got nobody to send to kettle. That's the gold that I've got. And I've used the green, used the red, got a blue one called Misty Sky. These are all subtle colours, they're not extra bright. Put it on this bit. As you can see, all the red's disappeared now off the nib. So it's not permanent. melts quicker, this wow powder as well. As you can see, it's a bit thinner. I'm wondering if I could get a matching colour in pencil. Put it on first and then put that on to give a shine over the top of the pencil. So that's that one. I think she wants to go out the front door, Right, so should we find a picture and a colour and do it from beginning to end? Please don't. Somebody keeps scratching the other side of that door as well. You can leave it open now while she's finished. Thank you. Yeah, so you get lots of different effects depending on what sort of powder you use. I really like the holographic one over the top of the pencil. I like the black for doing a black and white picture. I'm not too sure over this green and this blue, with them being more see-through, but I'll have to test what it's like over marker and pencil. The silver's good, and I like this gold here, but I'm not so keen on this gold here. And the one that puffs up's good as well, but I won't do a full picture in that. So that's what effect you get with them. Let's get another picture. I've got one with metal in this one. What's in that one? There we go. We've got an abundance of metal here. So do some silver and golds on this one. Pin it down. Come on, fingers. Just stops the page from trying to lift with when you've got the heat on it. It keeps the shape of your page. Right. Oh. Start here. Now, I'm trying not to go right over the black lines because, as you saw, the gold does cover it. Thank you, Doc.
What you want, mates?
If you want treats, mates, go with your dad. So I'm busy.
She's had enough so far.
She don't think so.
Yeah.
It's just like colouring, really, isn't it? But instead of using your pencils or your markers, it's just something different. And I won't use it on an old page because I think it'd just look too flat. But to highlight sections, it's a good idea. Now, have I covered all of that? Yes. Oh, I know where I am done first. Anti-static bag. It's got equivalent to baby powder in it. If you just cover your page, it will stop it sticking to the static. And also, if you like me and you get greasy fingerprints everywhere, this takes it off. Right. I like this gold as well because it gives a texture like metal. So what do we think, guys? Oh, sorry, Caroline, I didn't see your comment. Ian, Caroline says, hey up. He's into the room. Oh, that coffee's lovely. Yeah, so if I just pick out a few and do with the gold embossing and then leave the rest to colour in with pencil.
Are you shouting me?
Yeah, Caroline said, hey up.
Oh, hello.
I didn't see her message. Welcome back, Susie. I got me coffee. You don't have to give me one because Ian's made me one. Can I zoom in a bit? Right. In program, when I'm on Google Hangouts, it won't let me zoom in enough for some reason. So let me try another program and see if it will work with that. No. That's out. No, it just won't zoom in any more than that. Let's see if I can bring it down a bit. You're going to shake a bit, I'm afraid. Try that. Are you going to stay on the book? No, you're not going to stay on the book. I need a new arm for camera. This one's not very good. Is that better, Caroline? Can you see gold effect now? It's got a lovely shine on it, hasn't it? I have to remember to leave my book up other end of the table now. You're welcome, Caroline. Try and zoom in myself a bit so I can reach. Thank you. Thank you, Susie. Thank you, Caroline. Yeah, like I say, I wouldn't do an entire picture in it because it'd just look flat and not 3D. But if you highlight, say 4 or 5 on a page this size, and then colour rest in your pencils or your markers, whichever you're using, then it will complement. And round the edges where I've not put the powder, which I don't know if you can see, without it blurring, but I can go in with a dark pencil on that to get more depth. So that's why I left the edges uncovered. Right, so now if I've got one in the centre, if I pick one down this corner, sweet, I think I'll pick this one because it will bring it from the background to the foreground. Well, that's the inside, isn't it, that I've just covered? Done that one, that's the outer bit. But I've also done that one, and that's the cutout. Oh, nanas. This one's going to look a bit deformed. This light's casting a shadow for some strange reason. It doesn't usually. Let me put some powder on so I can see where I've gone. I did get it on the cutout look instead of the other bit. Very silly. Right. That on there. I'll use this. I wonder if one of my silicone tools will take it off that bit I don't want it on without disturbing other bits, because I haven't got a paintbrush that's small enough to just touch that area. I've got one close by. Yes. Oh, sorry about noise at chair. That one will be better. There we go. Right. Going off camera again. Sorry, guys. That's better, isn't it? I've just got to go in again on this little bit here that should have been coloured. get off that bit we don't want again. That's better. Have my coffee before I end up forgetting it. Bye, Caroline. Enjoy your shopping. Right. Now, I think pick one up this end, possibly this small one here. My coffee's going cold quick. I'm using all my plugs up, so I can't plug my cup warmer in. It's one thing with these little bungalows, they don't gear enough sockets. And where they have from, they're in stupid areas, they're not where I want them. Just go around that centre, make sure I've covered all of that. Missed some bits on that one, so going the edge. My powders tend to get a little mixed up together, but I think it adds variety, so I'm not bothered. That's covered it okay now. Now, this one will be a challenge. So I think I'll pick this big one up here. Something different. And because it's big, what I'm going to do is a section at a time. Just come to there and cover that. I've got a line there between the two powders, but I'm not going to go in now because it'll rub it off. I'll wait till it's melted and then fill the gap. Hi May, you made it. When I colour page before embossing, no, it doesn't make any difference. It's still as easy to emboss after you've coloured. Whether you're using pencil or marker, it's not got a sticky surface, so the embossing powder won't stick to it unless you put either glue or the VersaFine on top first. Then it'll stick to it. So yeah, you can colour your picture and then highlight areas you want to emboss after. That's fine. Right. Now May's here, I'll show her what we were practicing with before, saves her having to go back and watch beginning at thing. This is where we practiced on this wing here. Sorry, my camera does not want to go where I want it to. And I don't know if I'm zoomed in enough for you to see, because the zoom won't work. This were a very fine green powder, which is wow powder. Now, I've come to the conclusion that it's that thin, you'd be better off putting pencil first and then this over the top. As you can see with the blue, you can see all the paper still behind it. But with the gold, which is the one I'm using, it fills and covers the black, so you don't need no pencil. This one, I did red pencil, coloured it first, then put glue over the top and put holographic powder, which is that one. So it put a sparkle over the top of the pencil. And this one is black. I thought that'd be good for a black and white picture. And it gives a solid black with shine. This gold is a glitter gold. Well, I don't like the effect on the paper, so I'll not be using that one. This is the one that I told you about with the bigger one. It's got bigger particles and it puffs up. It raises up higher than what the other ones do. The silver detail I like, it's the same as the gold one, for metal work. And the other one I used was a glitter embossing powder in red. They're good for Christmas pictures. I did have a green, but I've used it all. Hi Connie, welcome. So that was what I did to test how it worked on the paper and what different powders do and how they react. And because of how solid the gold comes out, we've picked a metallic page. Yeah, it has to be heated. I'll show you as I do this next bit. And that back over. That back that way, that back that way. Right. I'm on screen again. Yeah, I've got a Versamark pen, but it's run out. So what I'm using is a Versamark pad. I'm picking the ink up on the small nib. But I did say I'd show you what it will like with the glue pen. The two-way glue pen. So I'll do that now. It's like colouring in. You just colour it over where you want it. And because this is a big area, I'm going to do a small section at a time. Come up to there. And put the powder on. And then knock it off. And you can see where the glue goes and where it misses. It works, but it's not as efficient as using a VersaFine pen or a watermark pen of other brands. Other brands are available. But if you're stuck, then it does work. But, and it looks like you're wasting a lot of powder because you chuck quite a bit over it, but you're not, because majority of it comes back off again. This is the Eat-It gun that I use. There is cylinder types that's hotter than this, but I use this one, and it's not an air dryer. An air dryer won't work. It doesn't, for one, it doesn't get hot enough to melt, and for another, it blows all your powder away. So you can't use an air dryer. You need a specific tool, either a Ranger Eat-It tool or a Wow cylinder, or other brands are available. Don't go in like this, like you do in an air dryer, because you're not putting the heat where you need it to melt. So you just hold it over until it starts melting. You can see it changing, look. And then that's it. And it also comes out more bobbly with the glue. It's not as smooth as what it is with the VersaFine. So that's how it works with the glue pen. Like I say, you can use that if you're stuck and you want to dive right in, but I do recommend buying a watermark pen. Help if I were on screen, wouldn't it? Yeah, get a watermark pen. Like I say, mine's run out, so I've got a backup pad. It just looks like that. Very mucky because it's years old. And one of these would last you 10 years plus. No, you don't burn your paper with this one because it's a low heat. It's not as, you can burn it with the cylinder ones. If you hold it on too long in one place, it will burn your paper. But this one won't. This is for mainly drying paper if you've been watercolouring and you want it to dry quick to do your next layer of colour. It's slower at melting the powder, but still quite fast, as you saw me do just now. It's fast enough for me, so that's why I don't buy the cylinder one. Also with the cylinder ones, I find it buckles your paper because it being a stronger heat, where this one doesn't. Just take it up to there, make sure they're covered. Like I say, it looks a lot that you're chucking on, but it's not, because it all comes off again. And all that goes back in the tub. This particular one, as you can see, it's still fairly full. That's what they come like that full when you buy them new. And this one I have had since 2002. So you don't use a lot at all. Like you see, it's still fairly fast at melting. It's just not as fast as a cylinder one. It works as long for me. And I still have the box. Oh, excuse me. That's the box. What it looks like. It's just called an Eat It tool. It's usually around £9 to £15, depending on which brand you buy. You can get a proper Ranger one that's about £25, but cheaper ones work just as well. No, Connie, you haven't managed to burn your paper yet. You can hold it there for a good 10 minutes, and I don't think you'd burn your paper because, like I said, it's not as hot as the cylinder ones. You use a cylinder one, do you, Susie? Yeah, you hold it higher over paper than what I've been doing with this one. I have known people to use one of them guns that you melt your gloss paint off the doors with. I don't advise it myself because they're extra hot. But I have known people use that in a pinch. Missed a bit there, so cover that. Put some powder on before I forget where I've been. If you get it on an area that you didn't want it, like I've just managed to do on that bit, as long as you get it before you've melted it, you can take it back off. The most difficult part is not being able to see where it's laid down until you cover it with the powder. You can't really tell whether you've covered every bit or not, or whether you've gone onto bits you didn't want to cover until you sprinkle powder on it. And any gaps I get, like this one, I'll not touch it now because it'll just rub the powder off. like I've just done on that bit. But once it's melted, you can go back in and fill any gaps. So it looks seamless. And if you want it thicker, I've just covered the wrong bit again. Oh my Lord. Not concentrating. Now you get to see how you fix messes if you've messed up. Now, as you can see, I've got it totally where I don't want it because I was colouring the wrong bit in. But that's fine because we've not put heat to it yet. So I can go in and take it off. Loosen it off and then brush it. Nobody will ever know that you're a numpty. Put it where you shouldn't have done. Right, fill this area now. I'm going to fill my gaps. There we go. Roll that back in there. Oh, out of that. As you can see, that's filled all gaps and it's also repaired all that area that the glue missed. And that's all there is to it. Like I said, don't pick an entire page and do this, because it's just going to look flat and not 3D. So just pick random areas, do the embossing, and colour the rest, either marker or pencil. I think I'll even it out by picking something down this corner. Should we go for the big one again? I'll try and concentrate this time and not stick it on where I don't want it. Missed a bit there, but I can come back after it's melted, like I did with the other one. Hi, Maria. Yeah, it does give a lot better effect than the metallic gel pens. I found with metallic gel pens, there's no shine to it, where an embossing powder, it shines. Thank you, Susie. Like I say, you will get gaps in between where you're putting the VersaFine on, because you don't want to go too close to what you've already put down. It'll rub all your powder off. But rather than keep picking the heat tool up and eating small sections over and over, it is easier doing it this way. Cover it with ink, cover it with powder, move on. Till you've done enough area that you want, then eat it. Just try not to sneeze on it because you'll blow up powder off. Melt that, and then I'll go back and fix the areas that I've missed. I'm off screen again, sorry folks. I really do need to get a new camera on. bit there, look. That's better. You do take your time and don't rush it. You do cover most of the area that you need. It's when you're rushing that you end up with gaps. Like that, ended up with a gap again. So I'll eat that and then fill gap. I'm not going round all the little holes either, because that would be tedious. See a gap there. Make sure there's plenty of ink on that bit. Well, I'm good at showing you bits I keep missing, aren't I? At least I would be if I were on screen. I like Neo 2s as well, Maria. I bet it looks really nice. Fill that gap. There we go. And that's it for the gold. So I'll pick some out and put some silver on. Of that one. That's some gold, isn't it? Yeah. I think we'll have this one. And super fine. It's nice to have a change, isn't it, Maria? And that's what I like about these books, because there's so much interest. They're not all the same. Oh, it's a bit tight, that one. Right, so I'm just going to pick one of these small ones over here. I'm trying to be a bit more steady with this one. With it being finer points, I don't want to go over the edge. Again, I'm not going round little tiny owls. I know it makes the metal look more solid, but once the rest of the page is coloured in, you'll not notice so much. I'm going to leave the very centre because I can do darker pencil in that. So what do you think, guys? Hi, Kathy. I didn't see you come in. Sorry. I use VersaFine watermark pen. And because it's gone dry, because for how many years I've had it, got a VersaFine pad that I keep picking the ink up with. From, should I say, not with, from. And now I can't get the lid off. But as I was telling May, if you run out of VersaFine and you want to do something, a small thing, in a pinch, you can use a two-way glue pen. Can be used. It just don't come out looking as smooth as what a VersaFine pen does. Any watermark pen, it doesn't have to be VersaFine. There is other brands, as long as it's a watermark pen. And then you want a eat it tool, an embossing tool, not an air dryer. It won't work with an air dryer. It'll just blow your powder off. So you need one of them. You're welcome, Kathy. So what do you think to the effect then? My lights are just not working properly today. I don't know what's up with them. It's putting everything in shadow. And that's the shine you get on it. I don't know, can you see? Yeah, you can see the shine on the gold there. Oh, there, you got a flash of silver. Cool, isn't it? I love how the effect you get from them. And then we pencil round, and the gold and the silver shining from it. It's one hell of a page. Thank you, Susie. It's not so much the patience for it, May, because it's just like colouring in. And you've got the patience for colouring and you've got the patience for painting. Just gear to try, do a small bit. If you break it up into small parts, like you tell everybody where you're painting, try a small part, see what you think to it and whether you like the effect, and go from there. See, I'm not very good at colouring metal to look like metal at the minute. We're being so new to the colouring. But I can get the effect with embossing powder and then colour the rest of the page behind it. It's not so intimidating then, is it, May, if you break it up into small parts? Are you having a bad day again, Kathy? Right, so I've got 5 minutes left. Shall I pick another colour or shall I do some more silver? Well, I'm glad you're not having an horrible day, Kathy, but from the sounds of it, you're still having an uncomfortable day, and I hope you feel better soon. That's all we can all do, take it day by day and manage it best you can. I spent most of last night awake again. I don't know why. Just keep having jumping legs at night and it's irritating. And it throws all your day off next day. You can't concentrate properly, as you saw, because I keep putting glue where I don't want it. Do some black. Yeah, I can do some black. What about this pipe here? Should we do that black? Well, it is. Every day is a blessing. As long as you wake up every morning, it's a good day. That's what I keep saying. We keep saying we'd love to have a cleaner come in, but we'd preferably like one that don't cost you an arm and a leg. Right, what should we do? Should we do this pipe in black that's coming from the gold? Yeah? Right, put lid on the silver. If I do a larger area, then you get more an idea of what the black looks like, in case you do a black and white picture. So I'm going to have to start behind the cog. That's part of the other metal, not this pipe, so I'll leave that one and put it on this bit. Because I'm working so far away from me, I can't really see what I'm doing, so I'll leave them two areas for now and just do the bits I can see. Then we can work out what that is. I think that's a separate clip that comes over that, so I'll leave that and come down to this bit. I mean, you can't put too much ink on, so if you're not sure you've covered an area, go over it again. It does put a slight mucky tinge on the paper, so if you put your head on one side and look at the paper, you can tell where you've been. But obviously gaps you're not going to see until you've put your powder on. Right, put some powder on that bit. And don't worry, it's not going to stick to the gold because there's no glue on that bit. Don't forget, you can still go back and cover any gaps you need to after. Oh, that's an high price for a cleaning company. They don't think it's an high price though, but when you're struggling with what you've got coming in every week, it's a lot to us. One of my daughter-in-laws used to come and help once a week, and we'd give us a bit of money. But now she's got a full-time job since children are in school full-time. And I do miss the help. Going up to that bit, cover some in the middle of that because we've got a line. Make sure I've covered that. There's going to be some silver sparkle in this one, I'm afraid. It looks like I had a bit of silver left on my paper. Should have changed paper. But I'll throw that bit of powder away and get another piece of paper. So spray more silver in my pot. That's good of her, Kathy. It's nice when you've got people who's willing to help you. Unfortunately, with that silver mixing in it, it looks like I've missed bits now, but I haven't. What do you think? The only problem I can see that I've got now is this going to look like a solid pipe, where colouring it with pencil you can shade the underlines to bring it 3D again. The only thing I can think of doing is putting a metallic pen, a silver or something, to separate it again. I don't know. We're in the experimental stage, because like I say, I've not done this in colouring books. I've only done it on flat pieces of paper that I've stamped and coloured, then embossed sections of it. I didn't think about the 3D aspect at the time. Of course, being a black, can't go over it with a black pencil either to make it shadowed. So I should have thought about these things before I started. But that's what experimenting's for. If you don't experiment, you don't get to know whether this is going to work or not, do you? Yeah, it's good paper to use distress inks and Inktense on as well. Yeah, bathroom's worst bit for me as well. Mainly trying to get down to the shower tray. I can get down to it and clean it, but I can't get back up. Same trying to bend into the bowl of the toilet. I've ended up using way too many chemicals now to try and clean things. And that's not very good when you've got asthma. What I have got, though, is a steamer and elbow. I do try and clean with that as much as I can. They're a good investment. You don't need any chemicals then. And then you get the same problem with shower doors. You can clean the soap residue from the top and middle, but it's bending down to do the bottom half. Oh, what are you doing, you pillock? See, I'm talking and not thinking again. Is that gonna still stick? No, that amateur woman's trying to show people stuff again, look. Good grief. Yeah, I bet Susie. Neeza's worst bit, isn't it? I've tried using a squeegee on a long stick, but that's not the same. You can't scrub it the same. I rely on sons to get areas that I can't, but they don't clean as well. When you can do it yourself, you know it's cleaned properly. I think that's as far as I'm going to go on this pipe because it's losing all its shape. So don't do pipes, folks. Just stick to the flat bits. Because otherwise you lose your 3D feature. But at least we learnt that bit, didn't we? It's not a good idea doing it on round structures. You may have seen some of my black move there. That's because I've gone in while it's still hot. There we go. Yeah, it's lost all its shape altogether now, hasn't it? So that were a bad idea. Thank you, Susie. I'll be signing off in a minute. Thank you for coming. That's generally an idea of what embossing looks like in your book. Have a nice day, Susie, and I hope to see you again soon. Yeah, Kathy, that's what Ian's like. He's got a degenerative disease in his spine. Right, so we've had fun and we've seen what works and what doesn't work. Through me experimenting, you get an idea of what you can do. I like the gold and I like the silver, but it were a bad idea picking the pipe for the black. It needed to be another flat cog or a flat piece of metal like this. So don't use it on round. So I hope you all have a good day. I'm going to go and get some dinner now. And I hope to see you all again soon. So take care, everybody, and thank you. Bye.